And Gordon, Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
The tackle made by Malik Hooker. No gain on the play. Makes it 3rd and 2.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And Back here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go, team. Here we go.
First carry for Darius Geis. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
This is Geis. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, Swift. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taking off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got it. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. He'll look to throw. It's caught by OBJ. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 17 carries, 73 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, Geis. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity of the ball game. 1st and 10 right at the 20. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll drop the throw, and that is incomplete here. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fielded at the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Our first half update now from Philadelphia. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll set up a throw. For Marshall, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 2nd and 14. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports.
Ready? 50, play.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. He finds Beckham, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 32-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On the ready.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Now back to throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 9 now. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This quarterback now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off for Geis. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, it's Geis. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nick Boyle, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll look to throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Check. Fresno. Check 4. Hard.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Love. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
36.
On second down now, Swift, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch the slant. Bang. You're out. Now.
On third down, Swift. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back to throw here. And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Off to Geis on the screen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. It's complete to Williams. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Set, 8, read.
2nd and 2. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Look at me.
On 2nd down, Love. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
He'll look to throw, and this is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Love. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Shift, 6-6, pull it high.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
All day, every day, any day.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready.
53 is the mic. All day, baby. All day. Check your hot breeze.
Ready.
On the draw, they go to Geis. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing. Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Let's go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Get him, boys. Yeah, that's how we do it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready to break.
94 is the mark. I'm coming.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A quick throw complete out to Beckham. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 32 on the play.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Set. 10 over.
Push him back. Push him back.
Put up.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Darius Geis, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So the first play of the drive, they strike through the air and score it.
A lot of coaches like change of possession as a time to go ahead and strike, and that's what we saw there. Ball turned over, first play, right to the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is now an even 30. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just called the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17, following the 2 negative plays.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Hey, lock it.
Watch the edge.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
You better be ready. Don't be scared.
Shotgun handoff now to Geis. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And that is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Browns in that game. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there.
Set. 10-2 stop.
They're running it. Check.
Ready?
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the... And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
Good job.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
8-3.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost up.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Geis. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Third down, here's Geis. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Geis, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Extra point right down the middle. On the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. And the Cowboys have wound up winning that one. A win would be their second on the young season. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time now for the Indianapolis defense to come back on the field. They've had a great game. They have given this offense fits all game long.
Plenty to review, plenty to enjoy. How about the highlights that's going to happen out of this one? Big plays all around. A really well-played game on the defensive side of the ball.
Makes that film session fun for them, doesn't it?
Makes the film session fun and a lot easier for the producer or the director to pull out clips for the season-ending highlight video.
Absolutely. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
60 outlaw.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every game. Guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.